I never thought a simple backyard fence could ignite an all-out suburban showdown, much less land someone in jail, sobbing like a toddler. But that's before I crossed paths with Linda. It all kicked off with a nail gun and a Viewshown. After years of renting crumbling apartments with walls so thin I could hear the neighbors' dogs yapping and leases treated like friendly suggestions, I'd finally snagged my own slice of heaven, a modest house on a quiet cul-de-sac. Nothing extravagant, just a decent yard for my pup and, best of all, the freedom to build whatever I damn well pleased. First up, a solid 6-foot cedar privacy fence treated to last, meant to keep my dog in and the chaos out. I was midway through hammering it together when a voice shrill, dripping with faux sweetness, pierced my peace like a siren. "Oh no, that just won't do," it trilled from the property line. I turned, wiping sawdust off my face, to see a woman standing there, arms crossed, a clipboard tucked under one elbow, eyes narrowed with sanctimonious zeal. She looked like she'd walked straight out of a home decor magazine if that magazine had a section called Suburban Overlords. "What's the problem?" I asked, already sensing trouble. "The fence," she said, waving at it like it had personally insulted her lineage. "It's not up to neighborhood standards." I blinked. "There are no standards. We don't have an HA. Her face puckered like she'd bitten into a lemon. "That may be true in a technical sense, but we have community expectations." I was already over it. "Well, I expect some quiet." "Looks like we're both out of luck." She gasped like I'd spat in her coffee. "I'm Linda," she declared as if it carried weight. "Chairwoman of the Neighborhood Harmony Council." I almost laughed. "Sounds like something you just made up." "It's very real," she snapped. "We guide residents toward visual unity and collective respect." "Lady," I shot back, "it's a fence, not a neon sign. Unless you're from City Hall." "I'm finishing it." I turned back to my work, heart thumping not from fear, but from the dawning realization I just stirred a hornet's nest. What I didn't know then was this nest wore leggings, sipped almond milk lattes, and had an unhealthy fixation on control she didn't actually possess. The next morning, a letter was taped to my door, printed on fake parchment in Comic Sans, no less, titled Notice of Noncompliance. It cited non-existent rules, claimed my fence broke a made-up height limit, and demanded immediate action to restore neighborhood unity. I chuckled, crumpled it, and tossed it. But Linda wasn't joking. That night, while I grilled burgers with music humming low and my dog gnawed a toy under the stars, I caught her flashlight darting through the bushes. She was peering through my half-finished fence like a warden. "Need something?" I yelled. She vanished without a peep. By morning, one of my panels was unscrewed from my side. My dog barked at the gap like it was cursed. That's when I knew this wasn't just a grumpy neighbor having a rough day. This was the opening shot of a full-on Linda offensive. And the wildest part? She had no clue my older brother, stoic, imposing, and badge-wearing, didn't just work in law enforcement. He ran the county jail. That bombshell would drop later. For now, Linda thought she was invincible, armed with her clipboard and passive-aggressive notes. She didn't see the fence as just what she saw it as, a line, literal and symbolic, she was about to cross. And once she did, I wouldn't just protect my yard. I'd topple the flimsy empire she built on intimidation, appearances, and pure nonsense. Her next move came fast, less than 2 days after our first clash. I woke to my dog growling at the door. Outside, my trash bins, neatly curbside for pickup, were dragged behind my house, hidden by a bush, with a neon pink sticky note. "Bins must stay out of sight, community courtesy." I stared, crumpling it, scanning the empty street. Linda had struck and slipped away like a suburban ghost. That evening, an envelope slid under my doormat held a blurry photocopy of a fence etiquette diagram, complete with glitter pen arrows and a circled rule. Fences over 5.5 feet breed visual hostility. I was torn between laughing and torching it when my phone pinged. Unknown number, still time to tear it down and do right. I didn't respond, but a chill hit. Melinda had my number. That night, my motion light snapped on at 11:47 p.m. The camera caught her, decked in black workout gear like a budget ninja, measuring my fence with a tape and a level, even holding up paint chips like she was judging my cedars VYB. I saved the footage, labeled it, Linda Stakeout. 2 days later, a pamphlet appeared on my mailbox, Fences and Discord, How Yard Changes Endanger Unity, with a hand-drawn map marking my house in red, stamped, under REVYEW. Neighbors started jiving me, odd looks, some pitying, some wary. One whispered, She's watching everyone, but you're her obsession. And she was relentless. She grilled my landscaper about permits, filmed him when he ignored her, and sent another fake letter citing a non-existent neighborhood accord. Then she escalated, setting up a lawn chair across the street, binoculars in hand, logging my every move like a spy. She even tailed a delivery guy to my porch, demanding to know what was in my package. He told her to buzz off. I tipped him extra. The breaking point? I caught her climbing my fence during a work call, gloves on, toolkit in tow, unscrewing a panel. Linda, what the hell? I shouted. She didn't blink. Remove Wying unapproved alterations. This violates communal aesthetics. You're trespassing. I roared. She flashed a laminated card, her library card, like it was a badge. This authorizes me. I snatched it, fuming. Get off my land. She retreated, muttering about reports. I filed one instead with the police. But Linda doubled down. Flyers hit every mailbox. Stop Fence Blight, Save Our Views, with a doctored photo of my fence looking like a dump, plus a fake quote, I don't care about the neighborhood. I ripped them down, but the seeds were sown. She held a community restoration meeting, inviting me, rallying her clipboard cronies. That's when I decided this wasn't just about my fence. It was about principle. Linda thrived on fake rules and fear, but she didn't know my brother ran the jail, or that I'd recorded every second of her madness. She was about to learn real consequences. Digging deeper, I realized Linda wasn't just a busybody, she was a power junkie who'd tasted control and craved more. At the hardware store, an old-timer recognized my name. That clipboard nut still hassling you? He asked. Linda, I said. He nodded. Ran for HA president in 19. Lost by 3 votes. Swore she'd fix the neighborhood anyway. Public records confirmed it. Linda Grayson, ex-candidate, pushed for lawn checks, mandatory decor, and snitch lines. She lost, raged, quit, and vowed to rule unofficially. Neighbors spilled more Linda photographed driveways, nagged about Halloween decor, even called animal control on a wagging dog. She wasn't bored, she was vengeful. My fence? A threat to her imagined reign. An elderly neighbor, Mrs. Tate, slipped me a folder of Linda's incident logs, typed rants about my disruptive shirt colors, and forged HA citations with a clip art gnome seal. At the real HA office, they laughed. She's not with us. She's on our do not engage list. Linda was a serial harasser, and I was her latest prey. With EVY Denke of trespassing, forgery, and impersonation piling up less my brother's badge, I knew her fake kingdom was doomed. Her final notice came in red ink, demanding I dismantle the fence in 24 hours or face community action. I called my brother Jack a no-nonsense jail warden. I laid out everything, videos, texts, fake seals. Got footage? He asked. Tons, I said. Let's end her reign, he replied. We set up new cameras and waited. 3 nights later, Linda crept in, screwdriver in hand, prying at my fence. Jack, parked nearby, watched live. When she crossed the line, he called backup. The squad car rolled up, her excuses, safety checks, fake badges crumbled. Jack stepped out, uniform gleaming. Linda Grayson, you're under arrest for trespassing, damage, and impersonation. She shrieked about conspiracies, but he cuffed her, calm as ever. As she was hauled off, I felt peace not just from her exit, but from flipping the script. She didn't quit, though. Days later, a certified letter arrived, Linda's countersuit, claiming my fence caused visual endangerment and psychic distress. My lawyer, Tom, grinned. She's toast. We countersued with everything. Footage, recordings, police cams. In court, Linda rambled about lumber conspiracies while viewing a Lowe's pamphlet. Tom dismantled her, showing her scaling my fence, forging docs, ranting on tape. The judge, unimpressed, dismissed her case, hit her with $35,000 in damages, a psych eval, and a restraining order. She froze, humiliated, as I walked out free. The fallout was swift. Her courtroom meltdown went viral, locally TikToks, T-shirts, visual sur vor. Her allies ditched her, the city audited her fake filings, piling on charges. Neighbors rallied, sharing their own Linda horror stories. She emailed a deranged "I'm the VY Tim" screed, but no one bit. She vanished, lights off, clipboard gone. I threw a freedom barbecue by my fence with ribs, a DJ, and a Karen-free sign. Linda watched from her blinds, a shadow of her former tyranny. My Etsy shop selling Linda repellent candles boomed. Peace returned, loud and joyful, pro-vying sometimes justice arrives with a spatula and a middle finger to petty dictators.